Season 1, Episode 4, featuring Bradley Feld.
When do you call him Bradley?
Never. What up?
Season 1. Enough.
Season... Look at that strength. That's a lot of strength.
No, that muscle's stronger. The up muscle. You got it. How'd your therapy session go?
I don't see a therapist.
Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Gee, I really love you and we're gonna get married.
You want to rob that bank?
No, I don't.
Have you ever thought about robbing a bank?
Like how I would do it if I did it?
Yes.
That's a better question to ask.
Have you ever thought about how you would rob a bank if you had to rob a bank?
Not in enough detail to feel confident that I could get away with it.
I have.
A specific bank?
No, any bank.
Well, each bank is different. There
No.
are different layouts. Some have security guards, some don't. Some have armed guards, some don't. Like, you clearly are getting caught because you have not thought about this.
Oh no, I have a very succinct plan.
What's your plan? Expose it to the world.
No.
Yeah, come on.
I can't. What if I need to rob a bank one day? It's
I
the
don't think
most
so.
amazing plan ever.
No, it's not.
Epic.
I
It
can't
is.
do that. You tell me off camera. I am literally baffled by the stupidity of that plan.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Why are you up so early?
Well, the challenge of traveling for me is that I wake up when I wake up, and I often wake up at random times in the middle of the night when I'm in different time zones. So I just get up because I'm so disoriented. I just say, get up.
That happens a lot when I'm traveling too. You don't care. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You are a hard one. Because you have so much content already out there that we were really trying to come up with some unique questions that no one's ever asked you before.
That's part of my subversive plan.
It's working. So Brett's going to start it off because this was his question and it's awesome.
The first thing you want me to say is that question. So, first question I have is, what is your spirit animal and why?
So it's a giant white polar bear, and it's an easy one to describe. If you think about a polar bear, you know, from a distance, it's super cuddly and wonderful and beautiful and powerful, but they're just cuddly, right? And you just want to cuddle a polar bear. And if you get close to a polar bear, they're still cuddly and, you know, good and nice. And if you piss off the polar bear, it's a really bad situation. And so for me, you know, I'm really tranquil and I'm really happy and I'm cuddly and nice, and every now and then, it doesn't happen very often, but every now and then something happens that pisses me off, and that's not good. So I love the sort of quiet power of a polar bear.
Wait, has someone asked you that question?
Yeah, it sounds like you've thought of that
way
before.
too rehearsed.
Well, I've been asked that question before. I've answered that question before. You apparently need to practice your Google search.
Congratulations on Fitbt. That IPO went well, I assume. Well, I don't assume. I saw. How do you celebrate when you have these big wins? And like, if you do, what do you do?
So my wife Amy tells me that we don't celebrate enough. It's a constant refrain of hers. I think mostly to remind us to celebrate. In general, I would say we have short celebration, and then we get back to work. And in this case, we had all planned, you know, my three partners, Seth, Jason, Ryan, and I, and our wives all planned to be in Aspen for the weekend for Aspen Food and Wine. It's just a fun thing that we've done a few times. And we had planned that a year earlier with no idea that it would correspond with Fitbit going public. So we all ended up in Aspen for the weekend, had a really nice time together, toasted a few times, and then got back to business.
Have you ever made an investment and a month later hit yourself in the head and thought, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I have. I haven't in a while. I would say it takes me longer than a month now to hit myself in the head and say, what the hell was I thinking? Usually it's like 6 months or maybe a year. But I would say in the late 90s, pushing up against 2000, there were definitely a bunch of investments that pretty quickly, either I made or somebody else at my firm, which was then Mobius, made, that I was supportive of. It's like, what? Huh? How did that get done? And one of the interesting things for me, and I think for my partners at Foundry, that prevents us from doing that, in other words, we don't fall into that trap, is we're so focused now on the founders being obsessed about their product and us having affinity for the product and us wanting to have a long-term relationship with the founder, that those are the evaluation criteria. And I think that avoids, that causes you to avoid making that kind of mistake. We make plenty of other mistakes, and there's plenty of other reasons investments don't, and companies, and investments don't work, and companies end up not being successful. But I don't think it's because of that sort of head slapping. What was I thinking 30 days earlier?
So that leads us to the next question, which is who perms your hair?
I have naturally wavy hair. When I was a kid, maybe a teenager, I've always had long hair, and as a teenager I actually had a curling iron and went through a phase where I used a curling iron on my hair to even actually try to straighten it out a little bit. I think my peak moment of vanity probably happened when I was about 15 years old, and at some point vanity evaporated from my universe and I just sort of rolled with it.
Do people ever mistake you for Fabio when you're walking down the street?
Not Fabio. I recently have gotten a lot of Bono. On one hand, it's quite flattering. On another hand, I think it's mostly just my glasses. I think my doppelganger really is Geddy Lee from Rush. If you look around at some Rush pictures of Geddy Lee, he's striking from a distance, strikingly similar hairstyle.
You should pull that off. Well, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
You don't even know who that is.
Yeah, hell yeah, I do.
You know who Geddy Lee is?
I do.
Okay.
He's a musician. He is. He's in Rush.
He just said he was in Rush.
He plays guitar. From the beginning of time until 1990, I don't think I know a single artist.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Sushi and the Banshees are like your favorite, huh?
I have no idea who they are.
Why on earth did you agree to mentor Jonathan, and what are some tips you would have for people looking for mentors?
Well, remember that head-slapping thing of what was I thinking that you have 30 days later? That you just asked me a few moments ago? No. Jonathan was fun. Like, he literally, I got to know him through a couple of things that he did at Techstars rather than just him showing up and saying, I'm interested in. So, he made a few investments in a couple of companies around Techstars. Our paths crossed. I saw that he was doing things, which always impresses me versus so many people who talk about doing things but don't actually do things. And we just started to get to know each other, and he wasn't bashful about engaging and asking for help. But at the same time, I think he was very respectful of my time. And, whenever he really needed something or wanted feedback on something, he was precise about it, which was great. It wasn't this sort of wandering, meandering, hey, can we get a cup of coffee? It was, can you help me with this? And that was really the basis for the relationship.
That was so touching. I'm going to run Facebook ads and just have a long testimonial of Brad talking about how concise my asks were.
A long testimonial of how concise my asks were.
Okay, it was a little. There are 3 people behind a curtain, and you cannot see them, obviously, unless you have X-ray vision. You get to ask one question, and based on the response, you have to marry one of them on the spot. What's the question you ask, and why?
I think I would ask them what their spirit animal is.
Find another polar bear?
I would suggest that Amy's spirit animal is probably a capybara or a snake. What question would I ask seriously? I think I would ask the question, do you want to have kids?
What answer are you looking for?
No. A strong no. I think that would be my, if I only got one question and I had to make a decision based on the question, I think that would be the one.
All right. Well, I think you'd make cute kids for what it's worth. I appreciate you getting up at 6 o'clock and chatting with us. You're a gem. Do you know how much these episodes cost us to produce, by the way?
$1.70.
So for $1.70, you can be the very first individual to sponsor Carpool.vc, not based on not on behalf of a company. So you down?
I'm down, sure.
170. Brad Feld. This episode brought to you by Brad Feld, the best VC in the universe. You heard it here. Let's see if Casey's here.
What are you doing?
Just
No. Why are you doing
excuse
this?
me.
You creeper.
Can you do me a favor? I'm not a creeper. Can you do me a favor? Do you know Casey? If she's in there, will you ask her to come out for a sec? Thank you so much. I'm not a creeper.
You're such a creeper.
I'm going to get Casey.
I don't know. I'll wait for that.
100% thought I was a creeper.
Right?
Yeah. Like, they were all talking about, like, should they call the cops?
Seriously?
Holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This is my last chance. You have to read this book, The Martian.
Is that good?
It's so good.
Okay, well, why don't you finish reading it and then give it to me?
It takes me a little while to finish books.
Because Jonathan reads 30 words per
Why
minute.
do you have to always go to, like, you're like Zach Morris. You do, like, time out, and then you, like, talk to the camera.
Yeah, break the fourth wall. Time out. Well, you are not the fastest reader.
No. But you know what?
How often do you read a page and then go back and reread the page and then
Never.
maybe still don't understand?
Never.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have enough patience to read a page twice, even if I don't remember
Oh,
reading it the
so
first
like
time.
you just might just turn the page without knowing what happened.
There are certain times where, like, I read the first couple sentences of a paragraph, totally get what they're saying,
Yeah.
and just skip the rest of the paragraph.
But what if there's something important in that paragraph?
Never have missed something important.
How would you know?
Because I still feel just as much satisfied when I'm done reading the book.
Is that
Yeah. Satisfaction. When you're reading a fiction, yeah. What else is there?
I mean,
No.
I just
Nope. No.
I feel like there's
No.
something missing with that theory.
There's not. It's perfect. Time tested.